Thanks. Thank you, Bob.
We've got it.
All right, all yours, Keith.
Okay, well, there's kind of about three parts to the trip. We flew into Fairbanks and then drove all the way south to the Seward in the Kenai Peninsula. We spent about 3 days down there, went out on a glacier boat ride in the Katmai National Park. Then we went up and spent a week at Denali National Park area. And
But that's only speakers and headphones. That's not microphone.
and then the last few days were in Fairbanks, and we were fortunate enough we had a couple really nice Northern Lights displays. So I'm just going to present a lot of photos, but then afterwards I have a 4-minute video I made with my brother-in-law's music that he composed of just Northern Lights pictures. So I think I'll start the share here.
Okay, go for it.
And if everybody can go on mute while we're doing this, you can always push your space bar to talk, but it'd be good to be on mute.
Okay, do you have a screen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This picture, it was on the side of a building in Fairbanks, but I liked it. I thought it'd make a good opening slide for the program. The first part here's on a boat trip. It's about a 4-hour boat trip. We didn't see a cloud the whole day here, which is unusual for me. I almost always get clouds. But just a few snapshots here in the harbor. Now, because I've been participating with the street photographers, I purposely tried to get a few people in my pictures. So thanks to the street photographers for that. Now, I got this guy and dog, they held still for quite a while here on this, for this picture here, so.
Is that Balto or some?
I'm not sure, it was a statue or something, and I thought it made a good silhouette there.
Oh, it's a statue. I was thinking that dog, that dog stood there with its paw out. Is it really? Is it
For quite a while there. So, you know, leaving the harbor here, we just incredible mountain scenery here with these snow-capped mountains.
What month was this in, Keith?
This is the last week of August and the first week of September.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, feel free to ask any questions as we go through the pictures. So, and some of these, I always like to have, you know, a boat in there to kind of scale the scenery down a little bit. Now this was a Russian sailor that was sailing around the world, I guess, by himself, and we were told. But kind of interesting boat, yeah.
He's better off in his boat.
Yeah.
It's funny to see a sailboat with the sails down and a bow wake in front of it.
Yeah, there was, I don't think there was, this was, I guess, from what I was told, this cruise can be some pretty nasty weather. They get some pretty big winds and stuff in here, but it was pretty calm the whole time we were out there. Nothing like a sea stack here for pictures.
Did you take that one from the shore, or were you guys on a boat for that picture?
This one? Or
The one before that, yeah, that one.
we're on the boat, yeah. So the seals here, and they're just sitting there, and the boat goes real slow when they find the wildlife. So you get some chances. Here's some sea lions here. Now, if you look here at the glacier, there's two boats there to kind of scale this glacier down.
Wow.
I think without those, you really don't get a feel for how massive this glacier is.
Or even the mountains.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love the blue color in the ice too. That was. We did see some orca whales, and we saw a couple humpback whales. I think Doug got a picture of a tail slap, but everybody on the boat kind of runs to where the whale is, and it's pretty hard to get a picture of the whales when the boat tour isn't just for whales. This is the Portage Glacier here, a little bit north of Seward. There's a big bay. I'm not real good on the names, but I think Tourniquet Bay. It's south of Anchorage and north of Seward. On one of the days, we went over to the other side of the peninsula to Nanilchik, and it's a side where Homer's on also, but this is on the next peninsula over, Mount Iliamna.
I really like that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying, I really like that shot.
Thanks.
So did you go with a plan of seeing these places, or do you just kind of wing it and just follow your nose?
This was kind of a long time ago. I had been over to Neilchek and Homer, and I thought, well, it'd be an interest. We had kind of a free day here, and so we just drove over there. And again, it was another sunny day. There's a couple Russian Orthodox churches over there. This is one of them. There you can see Mount Iliamna in the background on the left there.
Wow.
This is just off the highway there. And I thought very fortunate not to have any wind, to get those reflections. It's kind of in the middle of the day.
Did you put this in club already? That one, the black and white?
I might have done this one. There's another, I think I had another black and white in the same area. It might have, I can't
Similar,
remember
okay.
which one I put in, but yeah,
This is nice.
thanks. This is a marshy area here. You can see a little bit of a glacier there in the back on the top of the mountain there. This is right at the end of the summer when the fireweed gets to the end there. That's the end of summer. Found a I think that's a spruce grouse. almost all my pictures, this was the only one that was sharp. The rest were blurry. So on to Denali.
Oh,
This was actually on the very first day of the trip. We were driving down and we said, well, let's just drive. We were driving right by the entrance. So we drove in and they had having like 6 inches of snow there in the park.
this was August?
Yes, it snows every month of the year there in the park. So that's not totally unusual. But Doug spotted these two moose out there in the thing. It's not as sharp as I would like, but I think Doug has a better one of this. But the scenery around Denali is just, it's really beautiful. And with the fresh snow on the high peaks, I think it made the pictures a little nicer.
That's a great shot.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah. You can see the
Beautiful.
fall colors starting here at Denali here. I think we were here a week and you can only drive 15 miles into the park. And so we drove that road many times and there's quite a few moose along the road too. So, but we had a lot of chances. So we had a lot of different lights and stuff, a lot of chances. And we could see the progression of color from, it was more green at the beginning and later more like this.
What is this mountain range? I'm not.
I think it might be part of the Alaska range.
Oh,
But this is called the it's spelled Tiaga, Tiagra. And that's kind of the area right before the top layer there. This is the last little bit of trees here before the tree line. Now the tree line around here is, I think, about 2,500 feet above sea level, where like in Colorado, it's 8,000 or 9,000 feet above sea level, the tree line. But
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you
Wow.
see a lot of the rivers have a kind of are cloudy, and like a glacier flower in the water.
You got some beautiful transitions in these photos, Keith.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous. What lens did you use? This doesn't look, is it a wide angle?
This one's probably I have a 24-90
Uh-huh.
on this one, but I use that one quite a bit for the scenery. Sometimes I have a 70-210 lens, and I use that one sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was probably the 70-210 here.
I like that. I like it then maybe a straight, 30 millimeter, 35 millimeters, 16 millimeters. Sometimes they make things look too far away.
Like I said, we saw quite a few moose here. And, for some reason, this park is huge, and at this time of year, they seem the moose are in the rut, and they all seem to come up in this area right by the road. And you can get out of your car, but you can't go into the fields towards the moose. But so a lot of times I just like to get the moose with the scenery too. So you get more of a sense of place,
I like that, Keith. It's really nice.
But a lot of times the moose are really pretty close to the road, so you can get some closer shots here. And also I was trying to get fall color around the moose. Oh, right on the road there.
They're so funny looking, aren't they?
It kind of gives you an idea how big they are too. You know,
Mhm.
You see his back there is almost as tall as that truck. This is actually one of my favorite ones of the most, just because the lines
Yeah,
of
gorgeous.
and stuff. But yeah, we saw several of these big bull moose.
Oh, that's a rack. Whoa.
Mhm. That one's not quite as big, but some nice light on him. Like his beard there. A sundog seemed to a little bit brighter than usual, and I like that, so we photographed that. Now, right in the center there is Denali sticking above, just above the clouds. This is actually, there's a Denali State Park, and this is just off the road near the Denali State Park. It's some of the best viewpoints of Denali are in that area. Now, we took several.
When you say the Denali State Park, is that different than the one you can only drive 15 miles into?
Yeah, that's the national park, the Denali
Okay.
National Park. And there's a state park, and
Okay, so you can drive wherever you want in the state park then.
yeah, but there's not, there's not many roads in there either, so, but you
Okay.
can, yeah, there's, yeah, a little less regulation. I think a lot of times in the park, there's no official trails, but, and you can just kind of walk where you want. They figure there's less damage if everybody spreads out and walks in different things, but they'll suggest different riverbeds to walk up, dry riverbeds to walk up if you want to hike and stuff. But now, and to get further back in, you have to take, they have a bus service that you have to sign up for in advance. And the earlier in the summer, there was a huge rock slide, so nobody could go out to Wonder Lake, kind of the famous thing. You could go about 40 miles into the park, and so we took the bus ride a couple times, and I think 3 times altogether. One day we could only go an extra 15 miles, but anyway, they would stop.
What about grizzlies, Keith?
Coming up, you'll see a grizzly.
Oh, coming up. Okay. I didn't know if that, because that's the thing that terrifies me.
So
Well,
Keith,
they're not scary if you're in the bus, you know. So,
No, of course. No, but
But,
leaving
yeah, if
like
you-
with to go on a trail or something.
right. I think there's certain areas where they're more likely to be.
Mhm.
I
so
like this one here.
Keith, I think you belong to what's called the 10% club.
Which means,
So only 10% of the people that go to this Denali get a clear day where they can take the picture of the mountain.
yeah, I've
It's
heard that. Yeah, I heard that, like 90%. Well,
Yep.
we saw the mountain almost every day, at least for an hour or two, you know. It was often more clear in the morning than the afternoon. So,
nice shot.
but, yeah, we were happy to be able to see it this often. Or sometimes, this was real early in the morning. It looked really cloudy on the 15-mile drive, but this is with my biggest telephoto lens there. There was just this little hole, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm.
I think I showed this one before as a color one. I really like it as the black and white.
Yeah, that makes a really nice black and white.
Once again, then there's Denali right above the clouds there. It almost looks like a cloud. You have to really look carefully.
They almost look like paintings.
Yeah, I think they did some noise reduction. It kind of smooths it out, kind of makes it almost look like paint strokes. This is at the end of one of the bus rides, Polychrome Mountains, they're called. You can see definitely above tree line here. But kind of some nice soft, subtle colors in the mountains there. This is one of the other stops on the bus for and the kind of the ribbon type of river.
Mm.
The tundra color.
That one's gorgeous, Keith.
Yeah, it was just really beautiful. Yeah, sometimes it gets spotlighted too, some of the light. I finally got a day with some of my clouds.
Okay, that's your clouds.
And we did see some caribou.
Wow.
Not every day, but just on a couple days there. We're in the first 15 miles. It was near the 15-mile mark, but and then we did see more caribou on the bus rides too when we went in.
Wow.
Would the buses stop and let you?
Yes, yeah, they definitely will stop for wildlife. Yeah, in fact, they give you a whole thing. The way you get it, you don't yell bear or caribou. You yell stop, and then he'll stop, and everyone gets a chance to. The windows open up, and you can shoot through the windows. Yep.
Wow.
This is not in the national park or the state park, but there's a road that runs east-west near Cantwell, which is a city kind of south, maybe 20 miles south of the park entrance. And it goes, I think 50 or 60 miles, but we followed it at least 25 miles in or so. And really had some good opportunities for photos. The night before, it had rained almost all night long, and in the morning we got these incredible clouds and stuff near the start of the road.
Keith, you always have incredible clouds in every picture.
Yep.
At a beaver dam, Keith?
Yeah, it is a beaver dam, and Doug got a picture of the beaver swimming on the dam. Yeah. Oops, went the wrong direction here with my arrow keys.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't right in and have no wind, so to get the reflections like this, I felt really lucky.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, on this day we just had incredible clouds and kind of like this one. It almost looks like the island's going to float down the river.
Well, you guys hit the fall color just about perfect too.
Uh,
That's
uh,
gorgeous
yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Obviously a different day here, but no, we did this road probably 3 times. Thought there was some red in the mountain there. I thought that was interesting.
Mhm.
It's always kind of strange when the sun's out and you can see the rain on the distant mountains.
How many hours of daylight were you getting at that time?
It was about 12. It's, we're fairly close to the equinox, so which is 12. So
All right.
now this is back in Denali National Park here. I think this might have been one of the last days. Oh,
There we go.
Here's a series of a grizzly.
There we go.
He was kind of wandering down the hill, and so it took a whole series of. He hardly ever looked up though, so I got more of them. Kind of, and got him next to some fall color, which was one of my goals there.
You didn't have Doug go stand by him for some scale?
That's right. I tried, but then he just kept coming closer and closer to the bus.
Hmm. Wow.
And
Ah,
the nails here are so the bears don't destroy the sign, but he uses it here as a back scratcher.
Oh my God.
oh, wow.
Serious.
Or a toothpick here.
Ah,
Oh,
that's hilarious.
And then he was just rolling around in the bush on the grass here. Now, this is something I should have really switched to video. I think would have been really amazing, but
He's having a great time.
this is beautiful, Keith.
this is the state bird, the ptarmigan. And at some of the stops, you have the trusty magpies.
Keith, it looks like it was hard not to take a good picture. Everything you have here is so great. But how many did you end up? How many did you actually shoot? I mean, it's.
I'm sure several thousand, in the thousands. Yeah. But,
What was your keeper rate?
well, most of them are, technically it's just a matter of small differences and stuff, from framing differently.
Color in that one's just phenomenal. That's really
the
nice.
colors, yeah. This, I think the real red stuff are blueberry bushes. So.
So Keith, have you edited these or is this just raw right out of the camera?
Oh no, these have all edited. Yeah,
Okay,
there's a pretty big dynamic range on these.
okay.
And this is, I think, the last day here, the last morning before we head to Fairbanks. And we had all these beautiful hanging clouds and another fresh snow on the mountains.
Yeah, I love those layers and the clouds.
Yeah. This is right near the end of the 15-mile. And this is actually the bridge that separates. There's a gate to go past the 15-mile mark, and this is right on the bridge. No, I guess there were some dull sheep up on these hills. Doug tried to point them out to me, and I never did see them. Now we're in Fairbanks. One afternoon, we had noticed some murals, so we went around and took a few pictures of the murals. The University of Alaska, this is their art museum here.
That's nice.
It's a pretty cool building. Yeah.
That's pretty. I like the colors. Wow. Oh, Tom Pinar would like that.
Yeah, the design here kind of looks like a ship or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
So inside the museum here on the stairwell. I think I showed some of these to the street photography group. And this was our rental car. Oh no, this is at the Chena Hot Springs. It's about an hour and a half from Fairbanks, kind of east of Fairbanks, and it's one of the best aurora viewing areas in the state. And it's a big resort area, and there's hot springs, and they have all these old cars kind of laying around the ground and old stuff. Just love the texture in those old cars.
And the colors.
Yeah. Now, I'll give you just a small
Wow.
taste of some of the northern lights here. This is actually behind our hotel by the Denali Park. And we got a little bit of northern lights and then it clouded over, but
That's good.
this is up, a little bit east or east of west of Fairbanks, yeah. And those white streaks are, I think they're called Steve, S-T-E-V-E. It's some kind of extra phenomena that occurs often in conjunction with auroras.
And what shutter speed did you, like 1/5?
It varies a lot depending on the brightness and how fast they're moving. Sometimes they're moving pretty, if they're pretty dim, I'll start out at an ISO at 3200 and 20-second exposure. But most of these are 10 and 6 and a lot of even 3-second exposures that you'll see.
And do you shoot wide open or?
Yeah, wide open. It's a 15 millimeter 2.8 lens.
Mhm. Wow.
Hey, Keith,
Is it?
Yeah,
could you hear those things crackling and snapping when they're moving?
I could not skip. I remember you said that you heard that one time.
Yeah, my sister and I in the upper set right underneath them. They were right over our heads, and you just hear the cracking and snapping as those things were like electricity when they were moving.
No, on this one, these were moving fairly rapidly. They actually got so bright, Doug was able to take a picture with his cell phone that came up behind, that's how bright they were. And these were, some of them were like 1 and 2 second exposures and stuff. But that's the last one of these. I'm going to unshare the screen and then I'm going to show you a video of more northern lights.
Were those all just from one night or was this several nights?
Let's see, basically 2 nights. And the very first one was a third night, but we'd seen them a couple times, but they weren't real impressive down by Denali. But here in Fairbanks, we had 2 nights where they were really, really good.
Wow.
So I'm going to share. Okay, let's see. That didn't work. Let me. Okay, one more try here.
Bravo.
Nicely
Really
done,
nice,
Keith.
Keith. God, that was beautiful.
That was awesome.
Wonderful, Keith.
For me, I get to relive the trip, so it's fun.
I like the music too. It was really nice.
Yeah. That was kind of a fun project to work on with my brother-in-law. Yeah.
The lights look that vibrant when you were actually standing there?
A little bit, maybe a little bit, but some of the greens were, but I think some of the purples come out a little bit more when you, because it's a longer exposure. You can see things your eyes can't see, but
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
they were actually pretty bright.
You can just imagine what ancient man must have,
Yeah,
or what they didn't know, or,
Inuit legends and stuff,
yeah.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Yeah, thanks for sharing those, Keith. You guys were up there, what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah. So, yeah, we got a really
Very
good
good.
deal on the plane flight, but everything else was real expensive up there. So,
I'll bet, yeah.
Oh, well, it's just money.
yeah, that's right.
Life is short.
I unfortunately missed your intro. Was this a plan that you just laid out yourself and that you rented?
Yeah, we figured it out ourselves. We set aside the time and then we kind of built it, decided where we wanted to go. And,
Yeah, and this bus thing you did in Denali, that was something that you just, you registered for and got tickets for, or what?
yeah, you have to do at least sometimes 2 days before, so
Oh,
we
that's
were there a
awesome.
week. So we would, try to make sure we had.
You're holding onto a dog. Let the dog go, let the dog go, let the dog go. Hey, let the dog go.
I've never had that comment about my pictures before.
Very nice, Keith.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks.
for sharing.
Really appreciate you showing those.
Really beautiful. I have a couple of pictures that I took when I was up there in Alaska about 20 years ago with my first Sony, CyberShot, my first digital camera. Inexperienced photographer, but it's a different look than what you did. All I have is I put together a bunch of glaciers and Mount McKinley.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody's interested. I'll show them if you are.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'd have to share, I guess. Where is it?
You have to have a club field trip.
I'm just thinking that. So Keith, would you like to lead this trip for us?
Okay, here we go. Let me just do play here. Okay. This is a Juneau ice field. We went up there and we took a helicopter and landed in the middle of the ice field. And on the way up there, these are some of the images that I took of the glaciers as they came down to the ocean. It just, like I said, they're completely different view from what Keith did. I didn't have the resolution. I think this camera is 4 meg or 6 meg. not very big.
Beautiful, that's beautiful. Look, I love it.
Then you see the blue
Yeah.
ice when you go over it.
Yeah, that's classic.
Yeah,
There's another shot similar.
great patterns, yeah.
And there's another picture. You can see how these glaciers all kind of run together like a big river and just keep going down the hill. There's the helicopter. This wasn't the one I was in. This is the one going back from where we were going. So to give you an idea of what it looked like. Another glacier. I wonder, it's 20 years ago. I wonder if these glaciers are even there anymore.
Oh, they're still there. They're still there.
Doesn't that look like a side of the ocean there? I mean, it's all ice. It's not water. More, same.
Well, that's cool.
This is the where we landed. And these are the people who were waiting to go back. And we got to walk around. There's a lot of water running on top of the glaciers. There's a picture of the helicopter that we came in. They had these deep crevices. I was kind of scared to get too close to take the picture, but they were just beautiful down. You can see all the way down in the bottom, see the bright blue.
Yeah, that blue color is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to.
This is Hubbard Bay. I don't know if you guys saw that or not when you went up there, Keith, but this is where the glacier comes into the bay and falls into the water. This is where you see all these big caving, where you hear all the big cracks and stuff.
Yeah.
You can see that there's like one right in here about ready to fall. And then we went up to, this is another Hubbard Bay one. Then we went up and we rented I should say, we went up in it's called the McKinley Clipper. It was a one single engine prop plane, and then we flew around McKinley. And I took many, many pictures from every different direction of McKinley. And you can just see the massive ice, I guess, and snow. It was like -30 when we were there, and we were there in August. And it was pretty windy, so we didn't get to land. They normally land up there and you could get to walk around a little bit, but we didn't get to do that.
Hey, Lou, when did you take these?
Huh?
When did you take these?
Well, it's sometime around between, I think around 2003.
I'll bet it doesn't look like that now. With the global warming, all that ice is probably a lot of it gone.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Those glaciers. We were in, the Canadian Rockies, and they had this thing called the Crowfoot Glacier. And it came down and looked like a crow's foot, but one of the toes were missing. Yeah, when you're up there in McKinley, you can see where the glaciers start, and you can see them going all the way down the side of the mountains there. There's another shot of Mount McKinley. You can see the tip of the airplane there. Got that in there. But there. You can see this is about where the glacier would start, like up there on the very top, and you can see where they just kind of come and form and all kind of go down together. They just come sliding down the hill.
Are you sitting?
There's another one.
Cover.
There you go.
That's nice. Yeah.
All the way down to the bottom.
Up in. Sitting. Are you sitting? Okay.
Isn't Mount McKinley the tallest mountain in the United States?
It depends on how you measure it. You know, like they say, like you get over and was it
well,
Mount
Hawaii,
Everest?
I know, has that.
No,
It's a
North
higher
America.
altitude.
It's the highest in North America.
Yeah.
But if you count it from it goes all the way down to sea level. So if you were to measure from sea level to the top, it would be the highest. But the way that, it's not the highest altitude. I don't know if you understood that or not.
The difference is that they talk about continental United States being the not Alaska and Hawaii. They're the contiguous states. So yes, it may be the highest mountain in North America, but it's not the highest mountain in the continental United States.
Right, but it's the highest in North America.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's
you're
the
exactly right.
highest in the continental United States?
Well, if you go up there, it says it's the tallest in the world from the base to the top, but
Yes,
it's not the highest. The highest is what, K2?
yeah.
Or
No, it's
whatever.
Everest.
Mountain is,
Everest.
Everest is the
mountain
highest.
is Mauna Kea is the largest mountain in the world.
Yeah.
Then
I don't know what
K2.
this is, but it was kind of interesting. We're flying over it.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's that.
Well,
So the name is now changed to Mount Denali now, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
It was McKinley when I was there.
Yeah, I think.
This
Obama-
is a shot on the way home. When we left Anchorage, I was looking out the window. I took it, and you could just see the mass of the ice flow. You could just see how big it is.
Yeah, that's
So-
kind of neat.
There you go. Starting over.
Yeah,
That's it.
Nice
Those are the ones.
job.
very good.
Now I gotta figure out how to get out of here. Stop sharing.
That's nice.
But that's a different view than what you did, Keith,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I had thousands of pictures also, but I
Back in
didn't
the-
get the color or stuff like that you did. with
Back in the film
camera.
days, I took a scenic flight and got some stuff, but it was all on the slides. But I remember, yeah, the flowing rivers like that. It was the highlight of that trip. Was
Yeah.
the scenic flight.
If you guys get interested in looking for the Aurora Borealis, there's a website that you can look at called NOAA, NOAA, and it gives you a prediction of when the Aurora Borealis is. You can see it here in continental United States. So if you're up in the UP, you get on this site and it gives you a prediction of when and which direction to look. And you
Yeah, it
generally
shows you the whole northern hemisphere where it dips down. It's a nice, it's by the University of Alaska.
Yeah.
I think they're the ones that sponsor it.
Yeah, if you find a dark sky, if you see a dark sky park, you can generally see it from like north of Traverse City pretty easy.
Yeah.
I used to see it on Mackinac races.
I saw it down here probably about 10 years ago. One night, the
was-
news guy said, you might be able to see it right here, and it's just outside of Walled Lake and way far to the north, just on the horizon, you could actually see it. It looked
was-
like it was way off, but you could see that it was the Northern Lights, yeah.
That was a good night.
In Fairbanks, you're right in the middle of the Aurora Belt there. And when it can be in any direction, and often will start in kind of the north, northwest or northeast, but it goes over the whole sky, so it goes way up, often straight overhead too. So
Very cool.
Yeah, so you were there, the colors, is that all permafrost where you were?
I'm not sure. I don't think, well, Fairbanks, probably not.
No, it's not permafrost, okay.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, I was about, on one of the nights we were probably 10 or 15 miles west of Fairbanks, and the other was the Chena Hot Springs, and that's east of there. And there's regular buildings and stuff there. So
Yeah, because in those environments, all those little shrubs that you see right on the ground, they're actually trees, that have taken an unbelievable number of years to grow. The willows or, things like that. They're like little tiny shrubs.
yeah,
You
there were
see that
small,
in,
there were small trees where in both the Chena Hot Springs and the other area, but
Keith, how did this compare to the trip that you took? I think it was in March a few years ago, and you did the Northern Lights then.
okay. March is actually the best month in Fairbanks because they have more clear days there in March than any other month of the year. And so if you were planning a trip, that would be and try to get in the dark part of the month. But on there, let's see, we saw Northern Lights every night, but there were 2 nights where they were very spectacular, you know.
And you were there in September?
This time it was yeah, it was the first week in September, but right around the equinox is usually, there seems to be more activity with northern lights. So both but in Fairbanks, March is a clearer month. September can be cloudy. So, but if you're there 3 or 4 days, you'll probably get at least one clear night.
Hey, Owen, we all say hi to Patty. Tell us we all say it hi to Patty.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Owen.
He must be embarrassed. He's got this gorgeous looking wife that keeps dancing around behind him.
He's muted. You're muted, Owen.
Oh, you got on mute.
I was just gonna say, I saw Northern Lights one night on the way home from one of our meetings over at the church. And figured Pat Denon would see that same night because we both left the bar at the same time. He claims he never saw it, so I don't know.
Never
You
seen
guys
them.
just had too much to drink.
Yeah, maybe. They weren't
Or
very
not
good lights,
enough.
nothing like what Keith saw, but I mean, at least you could see them.
All right, well, Keith, thank you, and Lou, thanks
Yeah.
for showing
Thanks,
up.
Keith.
Yeah, I enjoyed those, Lou. Those are really
Yep.
good.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you guys sharing it.
Nice to see everyone.
Yeah. All
You
right,
guys have-
talk soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
See you
Well, I guess
soon.
I'll see you
Bye-bye.
Sunday.
Thank you,
Bye.
Keith.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody get in your bomb shelters.